Hi friends, it's Miss Jill from the Warren-Trumbull County Public Library. Today I would like to share with you one of my favorite recipe creations is Chunky Monkey Pancakes. So you need quite a few ingredients, but it is all worth the time and effort. I want to remind you that before you begin to work in the kitchen, that you need to get the permission from an adult, and you need to wash your hands because we're all about kitchen safety. So I'm going to go over the ingredients that you will need to start creating this delicious recipe. You will need 1 cup of flour. You will need 2 tablespoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda. You will need 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 3/4 cup of milk, 3 tablespoons of melted butter. You can melt that in the microwave very carefully. Make sure you watch it. Put something over top of it or you will have a microwave disaster. You need a teaspoon of vanilla. You also need 3/4 cup of milk, 2 eggs. You also need a banana that is diced. Diced means it's just small little chunks. If you're not careful and your chunks are too big, the pancake will not cook around the fruit. So you want to make sure they're a nice size. Take your time and very carefully make them a nice little cube of banana. So now the bowl that you're going to be pouring onto, I'm using a griddle today because I'm at the library and I don't have a kitchen. But at home, all you need is a large skillet and you need to put it on the stove on medium-high heat. The bowl that you're going to pour onto your griddle or your skillet is the bowl you're going to put what in kitchen terms we call the dry ingredients. So you will put the 1 cup of flour, the 2 teaspoons, small little teaspoon, not the large one, a teaspoon of baking soda, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and then you're going to take a whisk. If you don't have a whisk, you can use a little spatula or a spoon, and you're going to whip up those dry ingredients. And a little bit of sugar. Actually, a tablespoon, the big spoon. And you're going to set that aside. Now it's time for the eggs. So we are going to crack the egg. I like to crack it in another bowl. That way if you get any eggshell in, you can take it out with a spoon. So we'll put the egg in, and we'll put another egg in. Three-fourths cup of milk, and 3 tablespoons of the melted butter. Again, you will whisk that. These are called your wet ingredients. Just until it's all combined. It doesn't take very long. Then you will make what's called a well in your dry ingredients. That just means you move the flour and all the other ingredients around to make a little indentation. And then you will pour your wet ingredients in. You will again whisk. Now, you're not going to whisk a long time, just till it's combined. If you mix it too much, then your pancakes are going to be very tough and not light and fluffy. You just want to make sure you get the lumps out. And then we're going to add the fun part of the recipe. We're going to add the bananas. And a 1/2 cup of chocolate chips. I like to use the mini chocolate chips, but you can use the big chocolate chips if you like a more chocolate burst. And then we're going to do what's called fold in. So take a spatula and you'll just lift the bottom and turn it over top, because like I said, we don't want to mix it too much. They won't be light and fluffy. A couple times of lifting them over. Try and get all the chocolate chips off your spatula. And then you will pour it into your pan or on your griddle. The smaller you make your pancakes, the easier it is to flip. So I would suggest making them tiny. And then once you're warmed up with your flipping, you can make bigger pancakes. Now, you're probably wondering, how do I know when it's time to flip? You will watch your pancakes, and when the batter begins to bubble all over the top of it, that's when it's time to flip. It takes, I don't know, about a minute or so. Just keep watching the batter. And you'll start to see little bubbles form. They'll form on the outside, and then they'll go into the inside. If you flip too soon, you'll have batter when you cut the middle of your pancake, and that isn't much fun. So don't flip too soon. And you could also, if you're not sure and you're starting to wonder, you can kind of maybe flip up the side and see if they're starting to brown on the other side. You want a nice golden brown. We'll just give it a few more seconds. You'll scoop underneath and then flip with the wrist. And the same thing, about a minute or two. Take a little peek. Sometimes it's really hard to wait at this point because they're really starting to smell good and you just can't wait to take a bite. But give it a little few extra seconds so you don't have that raw batter in the middle of that pancake. And then you'll get your plate and you'll scoop them on there. I don't know, I like to make the stack really high. In fact, how high do you think we can make it before they start falling over? And you can certainly use maple syrup, but I think these pancakes call for something to step it up a little bit, so I like to put some chocolate syrup on them. And then I like to cover it with whipped cream. And then you can try your delicious creation. Give it a try at home.